The truth assassins have hit social media again. Right now, they are trying to create this battle between the progressives and the moderate Democrats by trying to say that people who support Bernie Sanders are sending around fake messages about this guy, Beta O'Rourke, or whatever his name is, so that they can split the Democratic Party and have people fighting like crazy again by the time 2020 comes up. Everybody knows that's a bunch of crap, don't they? What gets tiring is that you seem to have these silly people all the time coming on social media, trying to trick us, trying to deceive us, trying to get us to fight against each other all the time so that they can get their own purposes fulfilled. And what are those purposes? Maybe a bigger house, maybe a bigger car, maybe something easy in their lifestyle for themselves and their families, but they really don't care about us. They only care about themselves. And that is the problem nowadays, isn't it? You see, when people don't take responsibility for themselves, there's always damage. Suffering is always caused. And the ones who don't take responsibility for themselves are always the ones who seem to be falling into the trap of racism. Being racist, or anti-Semitic, or homophobic. It's always people who don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They have their hopes, they have their dreams. They don't work to achieve them. But when someone else comes in, who's supposed to be less than they are and work and achieve their dreams, they get angry, you see, because they won't take responsibility for their own failures. This country is becoming one that is a country of people who are failures. Failures from the top to the bottom. Failures who can't do anything or who won't do anything because they don't take responsibility. I just read an article today that said that 40 million people in this country are at the poverty level or lower. If you are a leader in this country, if you're in the government on a local or a state or national level, and you take responsibility for your country, how could you have 40 million people below the poverty rate? How could you have bridges falling down when you were given 700 and something billion dollars to the defense contractors mostly, when you're taking most of that money, building weapons with it that you're giving away to developing nations under contract and pretending like they're foreign aid so that it goes to the defense contractors? How can you be responsible for your people? You make up a reason, you see. You say they're black, or they're gay, or they're too liberal, or they're too conservative. But the problem is not within them. The problem is not within the group of people that you're supposed to be working for and preserving. If you're a leader and you do that, the problem is within you. You are the problem. You are irresponsible. And even if you have billions of dollars worth of money, you're a failure because you're not taking care of your country. You're not taking care of your family. You're letting the whole world fall apart because you have failed at what the human being was meant to be when he or she came into this world. To hold on to all your money and your yachts, and jump on the planes and fly around. Go to the spa every week so you can be refreshed and relaxed so you can screw other people over all your life. Do what it takes to get rid of that small voice in the back of your mind that continually says, you are a bastard, you're not good enough, and what you're doing is criminal. And then perhaps you can make it until one day you're laying on your deathbed and all of those people who don't care about you because you're a prick inherit all that stuff that you stole and throw it away. And maybe they'll write some fake stories about you in history about how great you were. But everyone will really know that you failed. You failed at the only important thing, and that is creating a better world for yourself and for those who follow you. And that is the saddest thing, I think. To fail at the one thing that we are on this earth to do. All of the money, all of the power, all of that. Driving around in big flashy cars. Walking past homeless people who went bankrupt because of a bill that you and your friends blocked that would give them health care. A bill that you and your friends blocked that would allow them to defer or get rid of student loans that they took with the hope of getting jobs that don't exist anymore. That they took because they believed in the meritocracy. If you work hard, you see, they believed you can be successful. But the bar on being successful has been raised higher and higher every year so that you need more and more money every year to be successful. Housing prices go up. Food prices go up. Gas, utilities, health. But the salaries are stagnant. They don't go up. So people become less successful more and more every day as they struggle, not for pleasure items or not for more than what is necessary, but struggle for the necessities of life more and more every day. They struggle now for food, clothing, and shelter. The things that they were guaranteed by the super upper class that they would receive if they just worked hard, where good people help support and benefit the wealth and the well-being of their country and their communities. But now that has been taken away. The covenant has been broken now. And it wasn't broken by the people at the bottom. It was broken by the people at the top. It's time for people at the bottom to become responsible for themselves and to form groups and co-ops and all other types of economic interests so that we can take care of ourselves. Even if it means everyone growing a garden in their backyard, growing their own food and sharing it. It's time to get rid of this individualism that we picked up in this nation and to get back to the grassroots of humanity. Not communism, not socialism, not capitalism. Those are all bullshit things created to put labels on things so that they can scare us from partaking of them. I'm talking about being a human being and being a human being fully and completely, helping each other, promoting the general welfare, securing the blessing of liberty. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about governance, real governance, instead of people who just go collect a paycheck as they work as puppets for people who are so out of touch that they don't even care anymore. But the phoenix is rising out of the dust, out of the ash, out of the dirt. We rise like the song. We are the children of this generation. We're the ones they left behind. That's who we are. We don't need another hero. We don't need a Beta O'Rourke waving his hands around crazy. We don't need another hero. We need to know the way home. And that's what we're finding now as we come together, as we meet together face to face and on social media, as we fight against those forces that want to close social media down by only upholding the negative things, but not but not looking at the good things, so that they can convince us that it's the bad thing and it's the enemy of the people, when it's allowed us to share all kinds of hopes and dreams and create something better. And as long as we have this social media, we better use it for the betterment of the world and the betterment of ourselves. We better use it to break down the walls that they have created between all of us, locking us in cages as we sit right beside each other. We are afraid and unable to talk with each other, to see each other truly, because of what these demonic people have done to us. Use your social media well. Use the internet well. Break down the walls before they can put the bars back up by demonizing these things and getting such bad public opinion that the government take over social media the way they stole the public broadcasting system and the public stations and the big 3 stations that were supposed to be regulated because they were on public airwaves. The phoenix is rising. Rise with us as a new creation, made out of all of the good and beauty and wisdom that existed in the old creation, minus the dirt, the falsity, hypocrisy, and the debris. You can help support this station and others like this by going to our website at www.nextstepcoaching.mysite.com. That is www.nextstepcoaching.mysite.com, and you can become a patron. Yes, you can become a patron by going to our OHMS radio show link, hitting the button, and becoming a patron, supporting us with just $5 a month. And also sending out links and spreading the news about a place where you can hear the truth. Always truth. You might not like the way you hear it. It might not be super specific where we're pulling out pages and reading statistics and we're not off by 0.001%. But it will always be the truth that will help you to think, to understand, and to move forward in your life, in the world, and to help your children and your children and children's children have a better life. You can also subscribe at this station so that you can be notified each time we put a video up. Thanks for being with us. It's always good to be here with you because the phoenix is rising, my friends.
The phoenix is rising. The phoenix is rising. Say what? The phoenix is rising. Phoenix is rising. Phoenix is rising. It's rising, rising, rising. The phoenix is rising, rising.